The reason why a lot of guys end up in that situation where it goes completely left or it shifts off the rails is not because she's a single mother solely. It's because the man did not identify what she was capable of, what she was willing to invest in sacrifice, and where she was showing her value with the situation that she was being, that she was presenting to him. What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table. Welcome to the table. You guys already know what I do when I jump on this camera. I get in the kitchen, I get cooking. Today is no different. Gentlemen, this video's for you. I keep telling you I'm going to double down on this topic. Y'all favorite topic. That's right, single mothers. So I'm going to go ahead and do a deep dive in the statistical structure that exists on this whole epidemic. Because a lot of what's going on right now is it seems that now more than ever, men are not only having to deal with the reality that social media dictates a lot of our trends, our outlooks on life, but if they're going to consider dating, if they're going to consider being with someone, you have to start asking the right questions. The days of just asking how old you are, what you study in school, what's your zodiac sign, those are over. You now have to ask, how many kids do you have? Sad reality, but it is something that we're dealing with. So I'm going to talk about it and we're going to dive right into it. Let's get it going. So I pulled up this website called singlemom.com, thelifeofasingle.com. Wow. Single mother statistics that will blow your mind, I'm sure. So, did you know that more than 22 million single moms in America today? That's a lot of moms. That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of diapers. I may need to invest in Gerber or Pampers or something. Anyway, we'll get back to that. 17% of children aged 0 to 14 live in single parent households worldwide. That is incredible. What is there, like 7 billion, 8 billion people on the planet? 17%? Wow. It's a problem, gentlemen. It's a problem. 86% of single parent families are led by mothers in the United States. About 3 million children under the age of 18 live with a single dad. That is good to know. And it goes on and it goes on. But you get my point. For my detractors, a lot of people will ask, Daniel, why? Why do you put so much energy into this particular topic? The answer is always going to be the same. It's relative information, and it seems that this is something that's really affecting men. It's affecting the dating market. And I do not mind being the gentleman that is going to usher in an informative way of looking at this whole situation, looking at this whole epidemic. Because quite frankly, if you're going to date now, the chances of you dating a single mother is relatively high. 22 million? That's a lot. So I figure, why not be the guy to help navigate, potentially what to look for? A lot of guys feel victims to this situation. Because let's be clear, gentlemen, most men are not mean. Most men are not selfish to that degree. Most men are not even, what I would say, harsh. I think that they want a quality woman. They want somebody they can value, love, and care for. That's what I truly believe. And then it just so happens that the girls that they may be attracted to or they may click with just so happens to have a kid or two or whichever. So every guy, I think, in this situation, being met with this situation, tries to challenge himself. I really believe that. I believe that they don't start out as a single man and think about women and like, you know what? I just can't wait to meet a woman with a kid. Like, I can't wait to meet her with responsibility. I don't believe that. What I believe is that he meets the girl is dope. And then he's like, okay, well, let me man up. Let me take on this challenge. Even though this is not ideal, I'm going to do all that I can. I'm going to try to be better than that guy that left her, or that she left, or however it went down. And you start off with the best intentions. You start off assuming and thinking that you're going to get brownie points, that you're going to get gratitude, that you're going to get respect and appreciation. Then when you start funneling through the weeks, the months, and if it gets that far, the years, you end up in a crappy situation a lot of the times. And that is where I want to park for the duration of this broadcast, because that's where I'm an expert at. The reason why a lot of guys end up in that situation where it goes completely left or it shifts off the rails is not because she's a single mother solely. It's because the man did not identify what she was capable of, what she was willing to invest in sacrifice, and where she was showing her value with the situation that she was being, that she was presenting to him. That's why a lot of guys end up with the crappy end of the deal. See, I encourage men on this channel that if you're gonna date a woman with kids, a woman without kids, that you have a standard. See, most of the time, especially if you were born in my era, and I was born in the 80s, lived throughout, the 90s, whatever, that was the simp era. That was the R&B, baby, 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 you're all that I need era, that era. And they commercialized that men are supposed to be just open to getting whatever. I don't agree with that. It's nonsense. I have to grow and learn as a man, and this is why I'm trying to educate you guys, that it is totally okay to have a standard. Set that standard and hold it. Because if you don't start somewhere, gentlemen, then you open yourself up for absolutely every situation that you were not designed to deal with in the first place. It is not your fault that she had a kid. It is not your fault that it didn't work out. It is not your fault that she picked a crappy guy to have a kid with. Not your fault. But what she can do from that point, when she decides that she no longer wants to pursue a relationship with the guy she had a kid with, is that she needs to level up. And the leveling up I'm talking about is maturity. The leveling up I'm talking about is she needs to understand what it now is going to look like living life from this point, moving on. And that if a man is going to be entered into the equation, then she needs to be willing to prioritize that man. A lot of people would disagree with me when I say that even when you have kids as a woman and you're deciding to pursue a man, and hopefully for something significant, that man needs to be your priority. I know it may be controversial. I know a lot of people may not agree with it, but I'm going to explain to you why. A woman that does not focus and prioritize on her man is a woman that already puts you in a position of secondary importance. Is a woman that will never ever be able to actually grow with you, bond with you, pair bond, I believe is what they call it, and journey through life on the program that you have set. Why can I say this? Because she doesn't have you in proper context. She doesn't have you in proper alignment. See, her children are of utmost importance. A lot of single women, a lot of single mothers will tell you that her children are the most important thing for her. That's supposed to be her priority. I would disagree. I would say that would only be the case if she decides that she doesn't want to be in a relationship. I would say that would only be the case if she decides that from this point on, I'm going to be a single woman. I'm not going to involve anybody in my life romantically. Then yes, I would agree with you, sweetie. I would say that you're absolutely right. But if you're deciding that you're going to open yourself up for romance, for potential life, marriage, serious relationship, whatever, and a man is in that equation, no. That man needs to be priority, even over your kids. Women are not designed to operate the way they're operating. And what is really vastly off is the fact that, again, men are not setting the standards. It is not a freak accident that these relationships are not working, or that you're getting into the relationship, gentlemen, and then months in or years in, she starts to now not perform at the level that she may have initially performed at. No. If that is occurring in your life, then that means that you didn't vet her properly. That means that when you were getting to know her, discover she had a child, discover she had responsibilities, a lifestyle, whichever, then you didn't require certain things from her. You need an example? I'm glad you asked. When conversations are happening between you and this young lady on the phone, and if her kid is of age where her kid could understand, take instructions, handle certain things, there's no reason why that child should be interrupting that mother while you're on the phone with her. Why? Because that tells you that she's either disciplined or undisciplined, that she's raising that kid to be disciplined or undisciplined. She needs to have her household managed before you even show up. I've talked about this before on other videos, but I don't mind reiterating. And the reason why, gentlemen, is because we're men. We are not supposed to walk into chaos. Peace is what is important to us. That is of the utmost importance. So why would you as a man subject yourself to a woman that has a disorganized, chaotic lifestyle? Why would you sign up to be with a woman that child is undisciplined, unstructured? Because she's cute? Because the girl is cute? No. And these are things that men need to identify early. If you notice these things and you still want to pursue that woman, something like the conversation and the child interrupting, especially obsessively, then you need to start having the right conversations. You need to be like, hey, so do you regularly just stop having a conversation on the phone when your kid, try to get your attention? Or when's their bedtime? Or, when I'm spending time with you, what can I expect? Are you going to have your phone on all the time? Or, is the babysitter that you're going to have watch your kids? Can you trust them? Because let's be clear, gentlemen. She is always going to have a percentage of her focus on her children. This is how women are wired. Regardless of how much she can focus on you, there's always going to be a segment of her that is going to be designated for her kids, which is why in most cases this is a bad deal to date single mothers. You guys can be walking hand in hand on a date at the Botanical Gardens, having a great time, right? And she can see a bird, she can see a chipmunk, she can see something that will spark an emotional response to now identify and focus on her child, and completely take away from what you guys are sharing together. Now, I know women don't intend on doing this, intentionally to be harmful or disrespectful. This is just how they're wired most of the time. But those type of things are what men need to pay attention to, because a woman that is incapable of being a woman, because she was a woman before she was a mother, she was probably single longer than she's been a mother, obviously depending on the age. And a woman that does not know how to live in that mindset, that state of mind, that emotional, position, that woman is not ready to be with anyone. That woman is not ready to commit to a man, his program, and move forward down the road with something serious. Gentlemen, pay attention. The signs are there. And a lot of times, and this is why my channel exists, there is nobody to tell you guys what to look for. I'm telling you what to look for. You need to pay attention to her consistency. You need to pay attention to how she structures her lifestyle. You need to pay attention to how much she is trying to plug you into her life that's broken. Because there is brokenness, whether it's emotional, financial, attention-based, discipline, there's something that's lacking. And that's okay, because, we bring things together. But you need to pay attention and figure out what you're willing to sign up for. If you have no interest in being heavily invested in her child a certain way, you need to be honest and say that up front. You need to structure that up front. If her kid has a recital and you've been dating her 2 months, don't try to do something nice like be cute and be like, oh, let me go and attend. Don't do that. Don't play with it. And these are all the things that consist in this realm. And I'm going to pull it apart further in another video. I don't want to keep you guys too long today. Thank you for hanging out with me. That is all I have for you. This is Daniel Rucker with True Table signing out. Thank you so much. Until next time, be easy.